how to fill out a copyright form tutorial. This is the form SR. The SR stands for sound recording. So many of you that make and create beats and songs, you might want to use this form to copyright your sound recording. Okay, the first line on the copyright form is the title of the work. As you can see, there's a clear indicator that says do not write above this line. If you need more space, use a separate continuation sheet. Now, I'd like to just say that this is just a tutorial to supplement. If you really need detailed information, you should go to the United States Copyright Office. This is just a tutorial that will give you a start and a beginning point, so hopefully you'll overcome any fear of the copyright process. Okay, so the title of the work will be the name of the song or group of songs, because you can copyright a group of songs. It could say my collection of beats, or it could be the actual name of the beat, say hip hop beat number 1. Okay, on the line below that, they're asking you for a previous or alternative or contents title. You can circle what it is. So if you have an alternative title, if it's an alternative title, you can write that on the line below the 1 here and circle that this is an alternative title. Okay, the second line is the name of the author, who wrote the song. So if your name is John Jones, you would write John Jones. Across from that, you would write the year you were born. And if this was a work for hire, you would, and the artist or songwriter or music producer had passed away, you would write the year that he or she passed away. Okay, was this contribution a work for hire? Okay, or work made for hire. What is a work made for hire? A lot of songwriters work for or have publishing arrangements with publishing houses. And everything that they write becomes property of that publisher. So that work would be considered work made for hire. So they would write a song for their publisher and they would check, yes, this is a work made for hire. They would still be the author of the work. Then you would put down your nationality or domicile, where you reside. So if you're a citizen of the United States, you would write citizen of the United States. Domiciled, which means where you live in wherever you're living. So if you are an American citizen, you put USA or United States of America, and you may be living in France, so you put domiciled in France. Now this is a either or situation, so you can just feel free to use only one of the lines. If you're domiciled in France, write domiciled in France. If you are a citizen of the USA, write either one, but not both. The next part here is, was this author's contribution to the was this author's contribution to the work anonymous or pseudonymous? Anonymous means without a name. Pseudonymous means working under an assumed or false name, such as Mark Twain. That's not Mark Twain's actual name. So let's say my work, I wrote a song and I wanted to use King David. That would be a pseudonymous or pseudonym, pseudonymous. So I would check yes. The nature of the authorship. Briefly describe nature of material created by this author in which copyright is claimed. So if you wrote the music, you would write music. If you wrote words and music or lyrics and music, you would write lyrics and music. Now, as you can see, there is a B author. So there's an A author, a B author, a C author, okay? Each one of them get to say what their contribution to the song was. So if you're working with 3 songwriters together to create a song, one did the drum track, the other one did the instrumentals, and the other one did the words. Each one of you would have a different contribution to the authorship. Okay? Number 3, the year in which this work was completed. If you completed the work in 2008, you would write 2008. Being sure to write very clearly and so that anyone could read it without having to struggle to see what it is you're writing. Okay, the next one is date and nation of first publication of this particular work. Okay, so the date you would put is whatever month, the day and the year, what nation, the United States, England, so forth. Now you only use this if this is published. What is published and non-published? Non-published is when you write a beat and you save it on your hard drive, and that's a song you want to, or a beat that you want to sell, but you never put it on the radio. It hasn't been advertised or marketed in some consumer fashion. In other words, it's not being sold on iTunes. Then it has not been published. Now, if you take a work and you create a song and you put it up on the internet for sale, then that song is considered published because it is made available for public consumption. Okay, part 4, copyright claimants. What this is saying is who is claiming ownership of this copyright. The name and address must be given even if the claimant is the same as the author. Sometimes an author can write the song, but a publishing company will be the copyright claimants because they will own the actual work. So you would put that name and address. If it was ABC Publishing, it would be ABC Publishing at 11132 Main Street, and you'd put that zip code and that city and state. Okay. Transfer. If the claimant's name here is in space 4, are different from the author. So again, that same situation where you have a songwriter who's writing for a publishing company, the claimant's name is going to be different than the author. It says give a brief statement of how the claimant obtained ownership of the copyright. So here we would say publishing company owns copyright. Okay? Now, on each copyright form, there's two sides. It should be a front and a back. We're going to move to the back page now. And here we have, again, do not write above this line. If you need more space, use a separate continuation sheet. Number 5, previous registration. Has registration for this work or an earlier version of this work already been made in the Copyright Office? Let's say you do a remake of Twist and Shout. Well, obviously that song has been copyrighted already, so this would be a secondary registration of that song. Okay? If it is a secondary, you would click yes. If your answer is yes, why is another registration being sought? They want to know why you're claiming another copyright on something that has already been copywritten. A was this work was previously registered in unpublished form and now has been published for the first time. That would be one scenario. B, this is the first application submitted by this author as a copyright claimant. That would be B. This is a changed version of the work as shown by space 6 on this application, such as a remake or a remix of a song. 6, derivation, work, or compilation. Pre-existing material, identify any pre-existing work or works that this work is based on. So let's say you do a remix of I Believe I Can Fly. Okay? This would be a derivative work or compilation. So in other words, this would be your interpretation or your remix of I Believe I Can Fly. Doesn't mean that you own that copyright. The original copyright owner still is the owner and will benefit from any remixes or reworks of their music. B, material added to this work. Give a brief general statement of the material that has been added to this work and in which copyright is claimed. Let's say you added something to the song. Let's say you had it published and you had it copywritten already, but you added a bridge to the song. So you would now use this as a secondary, or rather you would copyright it with material added to this work, and you would give a brief description saying we added an extra 8-bar bridge or 16-bar bridge to the song. Okay? Now, the Library of Congress allows you to establish what's called a deposit account. This way, when you file for copyright, they have money in an account that will pay for the copyright. Copyrights are not free. There is a fee. So you could always open a deposit account. You will have an account number, and they will charge that to your account number anytime you file for a copyright. You put your name and your account number. You'd have to go to the Library of Congress for further information about that. And furthermore, number 8 would be a certification. And you would certify that you are hereby the author or the other copyright claimant, if you're a publishing company, the authorized agent of or owner of exclusive rights. A lot of times people sell their copyrights because the copyrights are actually intellectual property which can be sold. In that case, it would be a new owner, and they would be the owner of the exclusive rights. Now, in line 7 here, this correspondence. They want you to give your name, your address, to which they can send you your copyright certificate. So when the process is all over, about 6 weeks later, you'll get in the mail a certificate saying that you are the owner of that particular sound recording. Make sure you put all your information so that it can get to you. If you have a fax number, you can add that, and add your area code and daytime telephone number. And now, since we're in the internet age, email. Okay, lastly, what you're going to do is type or print your name, add your date, and then sign it. And again, on the bottom, you put your name and mailing address, and that will show in the window. Okay? I believe the copyright fee for filing a copyright now is $35. But again, check with your Library of Congress, and you can find out what the actual amount is. My name is King David for Dave and Goliath Music. I hope this is very helpful to you. Enjoy. One love. Peace. If anything I said has helped you, I need you to subscribe, rate, comment, and share everywhere. And go over to dngmusiconline.com and become a member today. You will love yourself for it.